Hey there, everybody! Happy Cinco de Mayo! I was just informed what day it is today, so I thought I would wish you all a happy Cinco de Mayo. Goodness gracious! As you can see, we are coming to you today from Hogwarts. We just had dinner, and I got the dining room all cleaned, and so I thought I would show you how nice and clean my dining room is. Isn't that a grand dining room? Oh my gosh, my husband is like playing things very loudly next to me and startling me. With everything that's going on, we have a lot of time for movies, and I noticed that they're playing all kinds of movies. So we had a couple of days where we had a kind of a Harry Potter marathon thing, my son and I, going on. My husband's not a big fan, but my son and I absolutely love them. So I thought that I would come to you today from the Harry Potter grand dining room. So, still having fun with the green screen. Yay. Anyway, gosh, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. It is so good to be back and with you today. This is my way of connecting with you, and I absolutely enjoy it. I love it, and so I had a lot of fun prepping for it yesterday. I spent the better part of my day yesterday crafting, which was just an absolute joy. And I think I've told you already, I don't get a whole lot of time to craft usually, so this has been kind of a real silver lining for me that I get to do this. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, so I want to show you what we're going to work with today. I want to get right into that because we do have limited time. So this is what we're going to be working with today. If you got the email and stuff that I put out, you saw that we're going to be making a card with the Barnyard set. So we have this really, really cool barnyard set. I absolutely love, farming and animals and all kinds of stuff. If I had my dream, I would live in either a log cabin or a beautiful, all-American farmhouse. And we would have a lot of animals if it were up to me. So I absolutely love this set. And I feel a little bit like, what is her name? Oh my goodness, what is her name? Snow White. She's the one who has all of the little animals in the garden and stuff. So sometimes on some days I feel a little bit like Snow White because in our yard, and we kind of live just in the suburbs, outside the city and stuff. And so in our yard though, we get a lot of deer and beautiful birds and stuff, but we get bunnies. And so I have this absolute love affair with bunnies. So that's why you see a lot of bunnies in our lineup. So I thought, who would fit perfectly in this barnyard setting? These little bunnies. And the really cool thing about this barnyard set though is that it is actually interactive, and it's easily interactive, and I'm going to show you how that works today. So I'm going to switch to my other camera so that I can show you what we're going to be working with. Here we go. This is the barnyard stamp set. It's a 4x6 stamp set. Oh, you know what? I got to give a shout out to everybody. Goodness gracious, I almost forgot that. Who's with us today? We've got Lisa Relova, I see you out there, and Ginny and Denise Bryant, some familiar names. I love that you guys are coming back over and over again because that means that, we're kind of doing what you like, and I love seeing you, and it's just so much fun to know that, we're kind of, that we're connecting. I think it's awesome. Marie and who else? Donna. And it looks like Sandy's here, and Rosie. Hi, Rosie. Let me see who's over on Facebook. Let's see. We've got Kathy Myers and Sharon and Susan. My names aren't scrolling here for some reason. Oh, here we go. Francis. Hi, Francis. Debbie. Margaret. Gosh, Peggy. Gosh, it's so nice. Sonia. It's so nice to have you guys all here. I just love it. It makes me feel so good. Okay, so back to this. We've got this barnyard stamp set. It's a 10 stamp set. All of our stamps, by the way, are clear stamps. Oh, let me get rid of this thing. I still have that green screen on. Let me fix that. There we go. All of our clear stamps are all photopolymer, so you're going to absolutely love that. They're made here in the United States too, which is pretty cool. So anyway, you're going to get all of these stamps, but look at the size of this barn. That is so cool. And this is the die. It's sold separately, but this is the die set. You get this one big die here that's going to cut out that whole barn, and then it's also going to cut out a couple of the clouds. I can't wait to show you how special this is and how that works, because it's really neat. And then, like I mentioned, I wanted to work with these little bunny band pails. I thought they're just spectacular. I'm going to turn this over so you can see them. Oh, and I forgot to mention on the back of this one, you can see what the barn looks like here too. So anyway, if you look at these little guys, this one is actually set up, it's designed so that they're kind of on a farm, which I thought just worked perfectly with that barn. So we have this little hay bale here that is so cute. But these guys are playing instruments. We've got this one with an accordion. He's got a harmonica. We've got a fiddle here and the washboard. How cute is that? And he's got this little guy here singing. But these are called pocket pails if you're not familiar with them. They're called pocket pails because they're so tiny. And this particular barn set is part of the pocket pails set or collection. It's part of that lineup because it works perfectly with the size of these little critters. Okay, so told you I was going to show you what makes this so special. We call it pedal pushers. It's actually a pocket pusher. Pedal pusher came about when we first designed some flowers, some floral stamp sets, and we would have a die that would cut that floral out and it would pop certain parts of it up away from the page. And so then when we were talking about how do we do something interactive with some of the scenes that we like to build, we came up with these pocket pails because they're so teeny tiny. And we thought pocket pushers because it's pushing parts of it up away from the page again. So when I stamp, let me show you this. When I stamp out that barn, let me pull this out of here. This is what the die looks like. When I stamp out that barn, now this is just red. All I did was took red cardstock. But when I stamp it out, I'm going to color it. And I'm going to line this up around the stamped image. Okay, you're all familiar with this. I don't need to show that. But I want to show you how this is going to work. See how we have these pieces that are cut away? When you pop this out of the die, we have these areas here that are going to cut little windows and doors to open. So I would take that off and watch how this opens. You see that? Can you see up here, see how it's already scored in some of these areas where all of these doors are going to open? It's absolutely easy to do and it makes it interactive. Now let me show you how that looks on the barn that I already stamped and colored. Look how cute that is. This is just the cutest thing. I actually watercolored this. Remember I told you about the new watercolors? I was messing with those and kind of playing and working with those. And this was actually watercolor. I just did this yesterday. But look how cute this is with the doors that open. So now we can put little characters, critters, and things like that inside of there, and it comes completely interactive. Isn't that cool? I love that. So anyway, I want to move on to my card. I wanted to give you an idea first of why I called this an interactive card, and it's because these pieces are these doors are going to open and close. So let's set that aside, and I'm going to get started on my card. Okay. So here's all of my pieces. And you can see I've already done some work. This is not just going to be assembly though. I'm not going to go through and watercolor that barn. I've already done that. But what I do want to do is I want to stamp out these little characters, and I want to I just want to show you how simple and easy it is to color these adorable little critters. So I'm going to stamp them out. Let me move this out of the way. I'm afraid I'm going to get something on here. So Sarah is asking, where do you get this set? Well, first of all, you can get it on our website at ldrscreative.com. But what I would really, really love for you guys to do is to take a look. Well, one of the things that is really, really important right now is that we make sure that we take care of, and not only just now, but always, make sure that we take care of our favorite local craft stores, whether it is your brick and mortar if they're open or your favorite online store. I would really encourage you to support them and take a look and see what your favorite store has got, because there's a lot of stores that are carrying these our stamps as well as other stamps from other companies. What am I looking for? Here we go. But it's really, really important because we want to make sure that that our favorite stores are there for us, you know, when all of this is over and everybody's back to work. You know what, I'm going to turn this way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and line up these characters in my MISTI. And I chose to work with a lot of the really little, you know, we have some of these guys that are dancing. But I didn't want to use the ones that are dancing because I just wanted to make sure that I had some really little ones that I could fit in the door. So I wasn't sure which ones I was going to work with. So I thought they're easy to color. I'm just going to stamp and color up a whole bunch of them. So that's what I want to do. Oops, I missed one there. There we go. Now I'm going to stamp these with, I'm going to use my hybrid ink. If you're not familiar with hybrid inks, the hybrid ink it's the one ink that you need. You can use this when you're working with colored pencils, watercolors, alcohol markers. You can stamp on glossy surfaces, on fabrics and wood and all kinds of things. So it's really the only ink that you need to reach for. You don't have to say, oh, this is what I'm working with. Which ink do I need? And start digging for your inks. This is really it. It is a combination dye and pigment ink. So it's going to dry kind of quickly, but there is still going to be a little bit of a drying time. But anyway, I chose to work with coffee bean when I stamped these out. I didn't want a color that was going to be as harsh or as strong as the black would be, or as, you know, as the raven. So I decided to stamp these out in coffee bean. Let me just get a good press on those and see how we did. And I think it looks pretty good. All right, one try. That's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give these a really quick little wipe. I'm not going to worry about pulling those off of there, just to save time right now. So now I also stamped this barn in that same coffee bean because I wanted to have a real rustic look. That's why I went with the brown, and I wanted the lines to kind of disappear a little bit. I didn't want it to look really, really strong with that black stamp line. So this, like I said, I stamped with the hybrid ink, and then I watercolored this, and you can see how beautiful that is. None of it smeared. All of that you're seeing in there is actually where I was just adding a lot of shadowing and shading and stuff. And so this one now is stamped with the same hybrid ink, and I'm going to use it to color with some alcohol markers. I happen to use Copics, but you can use whichever alcohol markers you want. So I grabbed a little selection here, and basically I just wanted to have a combination of yellow. I'm not going to call all these out, but I wanted a combination yellow, so I grabbed two colors, kind of a light and a dark. I wanted a combination of a blue. Again, I grabbed a light and a dark, and then a combination of a red, a light and a dark. And then I'm working with 3 warm grays. And by warm, if you're not familiar with what warm and cool and neutral mean, a W on a Copic marker stands for warm. A warm gray means that it has a brown undertone. A cool gray would mean that it has a blue undertone. And then a neutral would mean that it doesn't have either blue or a brown undertone, and it's just a neutral, well, neutral, that's why they call it neutral. So it's not going to have either of those. So I'm using a warm gray because I wanted a brown undertone because I have kind of a more rustic kind of a color scheme going here. So Kathy Marvel is asking, did I use my new watercolors for the barn? I absolutely did. And they are the Karin markers. And so I'm practicing with those a little bit because I want to get ready for doing a watercolor class with y'all. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is give these little bunnies a little bit of color in their ears. So I'm working with a really, really light pink. And I hope you guys can see that. There we go. I'm literally just very, very simply coloring these, and I think I hope you're going to be surprised at how quickly this comes together. These little pocket pails are very, very simply illustrated. It's a super quick color, meaning I can color it really quickly. All right, let me see. This is actually not a red, so I think I made a mistake. I wanted just the pink for the ears. This is actually a mahogany, so it's kind of a brownish orange. So that was for a different purpose. So I did one coat of that pink, and then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to give a second coat just to darken it right at the base, just so it looks like we have a little bit of a shadow. Next up, this is my yellow. I'm just going to go in with this barn here. With the, what is this called? It's a...
Red?
Oh, it's a hay bale. Oh. I'm like, what in the world? I can't see very well. I'm realizing I don't have very good lighting up above me. So if I look like I'm not sure where I am on this, it's because I'm standing back a little bit so my head is not in the camera, because that would not be good. And then I'm going to start in on these little bunnies. Now I'm starting with my light colors, because even though the ink that I stamped with is not going to bleed, I don't want to start with a dark color of, like, if I were to have started with like the bright, this mahogany color here, if I would have started with that, I could bleed that out or blend that out with a lighter color, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to come in, this is my lightest, there we go, we lost a camera. So this is my lightest W, and I'm just kind of setting the groundwork for where I want to have some shadows on this guy. I'm actually going to switch to the next color up because I think that one might be too light. So this is my medium, so it's like a W1, and I'm just adding a little bit of shadow on this little bunny here. I'm not coming in on his face, kind of around the edges, just to kind of give the suggestion that we have some shadows. And I'm really just kind of tapping that color in a tiny little bit. These images are so tiny that you really don't have to put a lot of color in them. I love it. It makes for a really quick color. So over the tops of the ears, top of his head, just kind of around his cheek a bit. My husband's laughing. Do you ever use the azalea marker? I am not familiar with that, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to go in with my next one. This is my W3. And I'm going to kind of go to those areas just a little bit, but not as strong. Just to kind of strengthen that shadow a bit, but not come in as deep with it. So you can see I'm literally just touching it down a tiny little bit. And right now I'm not really concerned with blending this too much. I will get to the blending. So as I add this W, this darker gray, it might seem a little bit strong in some areas. And that's fine. That's going to lighten up as I blend it in. That's the wonderful thing about working with your alcohol markers. Oops, I think I forgot this guy over here. Oh, and I am actually working, this is a Nina Solar White cardstock. Whenever you're working with an alcohol marker or watercolors, whatever your medium is, you want to make sure that you have all of the right tools. And one of your tools is your paper. So you've got to make sure if you're watercoloring, use a watercolor paper. If you are working with a if you're working with an alcohol marker, make sure that you're working with a paper that will work with alcohol markers. I'm actually going to grab my blender because some of these areas where I touched in that gray, that darker gray, I think it's a little bit heavy. And so I'm using my blender to remove some of that color. It's going to draw some of that color out and blend it in just a little bit. Okay. And so next, I've got that light pink again, and I'm just going to touch that into the cheeks a little bit of each of these little bunnies. Literally just dotting it in there. You have any more questions?
2.
Oh, I got a couple of questions. I can't see the first one.
I'm not sure what happened there.
Hold on, my husband's going to... Okay, so Susan is saying, does the cow from the set you have fit in the door?
It's the big set.
Oh, the big set? No, I think the one that you're thinking of, I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't remember what it's called. But no, that cow is actually larger, but you could use that cow in the background if you wanted, and it would just it could still be really, really cute. Or actually you could put that up front and put this, would probably make more sense to have the barn in the background and have the cow in the foreground, because then the barn would be smaller because it would be in the back. So no, it does not fit in there. Okay, so I'm going to use this darker yellow now to give a little bit of shadow, not even shadow, but just a difference in color for some dimension on this hay bale. Blend that in just a little bit. And now, let me move all these other colors aside. I'm going to give these instruments some color. And I'm really just using 2 colors for the instruments. Well, 3, I think, because I think I used a little bit of the yellow as well.
You have a good question here, by the way.
We have another question?
Yeah.
Sharon says, I always feel like I need to rush to blend when I use alcohol markers. Use dark, then rush to use the light to blend it. Do I have to rush? Well, Sharon, in all honesty, I think that comes down to whatever paper you're using. Again, if you're using a paper that is meant for your alcohol markers, then no, you don't necessarily need to rush. I can come back in tomorrow and I can darken these, I can blend these a little bit more. They can be very forgiving when I'm working with this paper. I would say no, you don't need to rush. I mean, you may not be able to work with them in a week's time, but you know, that is going to be something that you should probably maybe test a little bit with the paper that you're using. Like I said, I'm using a Nina Solar White. I know I can come back on this tomorrow and I can blend it out a little bit more, or I can add some color to it. But there is going to be a point of saturation if you're adding too much color. There's going to be a point of saturation where you have added too much color, the paper won't take any more, and it's going to get sticky okay, because your ink is going to end up sitting on the top of it, and it can actually get a little sticky and gooey. So you do want to be careful that you're not over adding color. I hope that makes sense. Actually, let me go around this. There we go. There we go. Oops, just got it on me. So that is pretty much it. Look how easy it was to color those. They're really, really simple to work with. It literally just takes minutes to color them. You don't have to add a whole lot. I'm going to give a little bit to this little microphone here. You know, if I wanted to come in and add some more shadows and things like that, you can. But the really nice thing about these little pocket pals is that they're so tiny, they're so easy to work with, and you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring them. Look how cute they are, just with that little bit of color on them. I just think they're sweet. I love them. Does the door open on this set? Yes, it does. Question, does the door open? See these doors? We have all these doors that open. We have this big door here that opens here. And then we have these barn doors. Now look at the ones, these are actually divided. They're automatically cut, so they're split. So if I want to leave the bottom one closed and just have someone peeking through the top one, I can. So all of these are going to open. All of your windows are going to open. And we've even poked holes through the little window panes. And then these were like you might put some of the hay up at the top. And then this one up here on that little silo. They're just so fun. They're adorable. Absolutely love them. So here's the dies. I want to show you how beautifully these dies fit around these images. Let me see if I can figure out. This one I think goes over here. Watch how perfectly. The dies are all kind of hollowed out in the center. So I can see where I'm placing it. Look how perfect that is. This is how I would do this. Anybody who's new to cutting out characters with dies, I would place that over it. I would add a little bit of the purple tape. And I would go on to the next one. So here's this one here. So that's going to go on there. Line it up so you can actually see the edge of the lines of the little bunnies just a little bit, and I'm going to lay that tape over just like that. And we have a die for every single character in here and for all the little accessories, so the hay bale and so on and so forth. So Lisa's asking, I don't have any Copic warm gray. Which three do you recommend or use most often? That's an excellent question. I would probably say I would get 1, 3, and 5. Because your W0 or your 00, if you have the blender, you can actually blend out, so you don't have to have the lightest color. I do use my 00 a lot, but 1, 3, and 5 are probably going to be your most universal. I usually will skip numbers. I don't have every single Copic marker because I don't think you need it. I can make a W2 out of a 1 and a 3 just by blending them. So I would say 1, 3, and 5, but if you could get a 4th, I would get a 00. Sue's asking, will there be future sets with more animals that fit the barn? Yes, ma'am. Oh, yeah. Yes. In fact, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek, a little teaser. We actually have a set that's going to be coming up we've got a release that's going to be coming up next month, early next month. It's a little delayed because of the shipping delays due to the current situation with the pandemic, but we actually do have something coming up. So, yes. I'm telling you, you have no idea how much I love the whole farm scene. So, so anyway, if I were to run this through my machine with all of my dies on here, these are my little characters here. I pre-colored them. I don't want to be doing all the die cutting and stuff on camera for you because I don't necessarily want to spend the time doing that. I'd rather spend the time crafting with you. So here we go. So here's my little characters that I colored. I also have a couple of the, what are those called? What are these called? Clouds. Thank you. My husband's helping. If anybody doesn't know, Alan is my husband, and he's gonna fill me in when my brain is kind of freezing and I can't figure out what it is I want to say. So here's the little characters that I colored yesterday and cut them out. So that's who we're going to add in there. So I want to show you this. This is what I did. You guys have seen me blend, so I'm not going to be doing the color blending, but here's my card base. I did very simple card blending. Or color blending. I used my Little Boy Blue because I usually use the Marina Madness because it's brighter. But with this one, with these little bunnies, I kind of wanted that really, really soft, sweet color to them. And so I went really, really light with Little Boy Blue, and I blended that out just to get that beautiful blue up at the top there. And then I took the Little Boy Blue and I stamped out 2 of the clouds that are in the Barnyard set. And then I colored them a little bit with the same blue markers that I used on the bunnies, just to give them a little bit of texture. And so there we have that. So that's where I am with that. That's all I did so far. And I cut this. So this is an A2 card, which means that it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I cut my topper, did this on blending card, my Strathmore. And then I cut this 1/4 inch off of the top and off of the side, so it's going to fit in just a little bit like that and have a little bit of border on it. So I'm going to set my card base aside. And I want to show you a little trick, what I did here. So I have my barn that I cut. Now if I put this barn down on here right now and I open up these doors, you're going to be able to see through, which is, you know, I don't know. I would rather it were just a solid color, black or brown or something. So what I did, this is what I do. I actually took, I just put a little piece of, I'll show you how I do it. Do I have scissors over here? Here we are. I go like this. I just take this just like this, and I cut I pretend I am my 5-year-old self. And I literally just lay this piece of cardstock behind this. I could go through and I could trace this. I'm not a very patient person. My husband will attest to that. So I could trace this and I could deal with cutting it that way. But this is what I do. I literally just cut in behind it a little bit and make sure I'm coming behind it. And I frame it like this. Oops, there we go. I wasn't cutting down. Just like this. Make sure I don't cut my image
Fingers.
or my fingers. Yes, I don't want to cut my fingers. I'll come in here, right down the side, and then this little bit right here, I think I need to cut that up. And anything that doesn't line up, I can trim off. I can trim in just a moment. So that's my rough cut. And then I can go in here and just kind of fix that up a little bit where I have too much, and I can perfect it from there. So that's all I do. It literally only takes a moment. Now when I open up these doors, I'm going to have that black behind there instead. So I just kind of try and be my 5-year-old self and cut a little something to go behind it. So that's what that's going to be right there. Okay, so that's how that fits, and I just think it looks a little bit better having that solid black behind there. If you want to run your die through on that and cut it, you could. You're going to get those, you know, the cut marks on behind it, and I think it looks just fine, but this is the way that I do it. So I am going to, where's my adhesive? Actually, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see how I want to do this. I have to think about how these little guys are going to go in here. So some of these guys, let me line this up. We're going to have grass. We'll get to that in a moment. And I'm telling you, I have not laid this out yet, so I don't know where these guys are going to go yet. But I might want to have this guy sitting. I might put him down here. I think I might have this guy singing on the inside there. Or maybe I'll have him in there. Oh, that's what I'll do. Okay, I'm going to put him inside there. The hay bale I want to put inside that top part there. He's going to come here. Let me think. He's going to go inside one of the windows. I'm going to put him out here, and then I'll find a place for him out here. Okay, I'm just sorting it out. I wanted to see if I needed to do anything before I adhere this down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this with my big old tape gun. You guys have seen that before. Make sure you don't put tape on the on any of the doors. You don't want to tape those closed. And now I want to tape this down. Let me do this so you can see better. There you go. I'm taping this, the black background to it. Okay. And I do have some areas here where I didn't need tape, but that's okay. It'll still work. Okay. So next, these are so cute. I seriously, I just am shocked every time I look at it. I think it's adorable. Okay, so this is going to go here. We do have some grass I'm going to put on here, but I'm going to get a sentiment and put it up here. So I'm going to stamp a sentiment. And I'm going to put it up in the right corner. So when this goes on here, it's probably going to be up a little bit. And I have to think about where I'm going to have those clouds. Thinking I might put one cloud down here and maybe another cloud up there or something. And let me get my sentiments out. I want to use the sentiments from the barn because they're really about the farm. Okay, Sharon is asking, since you'd like to live in a cabin, will you be coming out with a cabin too? And animals that live in the forest. Oh my gosh, what a cute idea. That is a super cute idea. I love that idea. So Sharon, we might be seeing that. So let's see, which one do I want? Cows It Going. Let me put these behind here. These are so cute. We have Cows It Going. Howdy, y'all. Till the cows come home, let's party. Hey there, and you're the best, bar none. Which one am I going to do? I'm going to do you're the best, bar... No, I kind of like Cows It Going. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do Cows It Going. Because I think it's cute. Okay. So, Alan.
Sharon loves the mice.
Oh, Sharon loves the mice. So Alan is asking me if we can come out with a mouse and name it Sharon. How cute is that? Okay, so Cows It Going. I'm going to put this kind of, I don't want to put it too low, so let me put it up here. Cows It Going. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking too long doing this stuff, but you know, I plan these projects for the lives. I plan them to a certain degree. I don't, I just realized I still have my bunnies over here. I better put these away. I don't plan the entire thing out. So I don't always know exactly where everything is going to go. So I am sorry if it seems like I'm taking a while doing some of these things, but I think part of the reason, part of what I want you to see is the creative process, because no matter, I don't really care who you are. I don't care if you're a beginner, if you're just getting started out, if you've been doing this for a while, if you're, considered a professional or whatever it is. There's always a creative process, and you don't want to hurry it. And I remember when I was getting started too with card making and coloring and everything, I remember wondering what other people's creative process was, because I think it helps to know what other people are going through and doing when they're coming up with their ideas and their plans. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful and it's not boring for you. I am going to stamp my sentiment in Raven because I really want it to stand out. I want it to be noticed. I'm hoping that I have it in the right direction. So on my burn, I have black accents. I'm going to do that again. I'm stamping over another color, so I want to make sure it's really strong and vibrant. How's it going? I love that. It's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that away. There we go. And in case you're wondering, with these magnets, I always got them stuck together, and I saw somebody put tape over their magnets once, and I thought it was just fabulous. Not my idea, but I think it's a spectacular one. Okay, so I'm going to start building this card. Now, if you're new to my live videos, you may not know that we do a giveaway with every single one of these lives. And so, I think I cut that too long. In order to be in the running for the giveaway, we need to know you're here. The only way to know that you're here is if you leave a comment. It could be a comment just saying hello. You could be asking a question. You can ask a question about the project. You could ask a question about me or the company. Or you can ask a question about anything, and if I know the answer, I will try and give you an answer. But we would love to hear from you. And again, the only way that we know that you're here is if you let us know through a comment. So, all right, so I put foam on the back of this because I want there to be a little bit of dimension in my card. And now, the next thing is, I wanted to have, and I hope this is going to turn out like as cute as it is in my head. We're going to see. I wanted to use, you've seen me use the Over the Hills border die, and I wanted to use this so that I could have some really pretty kind of grassy green hills. So that's what I used, and I thought what better paper than our Farmer's Market paper pack. And I grabbed this green, this beautiful green floral, because I thought that would be super cute as grass. So we're going to see how that works. I cut it twice, and then I trimmed it so that it would fit my card. So I trimmed it to 4 1/4 wide, and I propped only one set of it up on foam, and the other set I'm going to have flat here. Now you can see that, let me do it this way. Let me go like this. Notice I staggered the way that I cut it. So this one, my heel's coming down this way, and I have my extra piece here. And then I did it in the other direction when I trimmed it here. So right now, I want this first one to be down at the bottom, and I want this next one behind it. It's probably going to have to start about here. This is the tricky part, making sure that you put everything in position so that I don't see any white behind it. And I think that's going to work. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually, because I don't have a pencil here, I'm going to grab one of my markers. Since I'm going to cover that anyway, I'm putting a little line there so I know where I'm going to place it, because I have to move it to put my tape on it. So I'm going to put my adhesive on here. Actually, I should probably put this one on here too, to make the little hill. There we go. And put the adhesive on that. And then I have my line there, so I'm going to go ahead and put that into position. Okay, so that one's going to be in the background. Now this next one I've already propped up on foam. My foam is really thin, so I propped it up on 2 layers of foam. I hope this is going to work out. Like I said, I didn't put it together, but it seems really cute in my head. We're going to find out. Let me see, I think I got to move that over a bit. There we go. And then I have this other piece here, which I may need to trim. And I'm going to have to trim it. But I'll trim it once it's on there. So I have my foam. I'm going to insert this other little hill, just like so. I want it to be up higher, like that. And then I'm going to come in with my scissors and just trim that little edge right there. There we go. Simple. See the hills? Isn't that cute? I think it's very cute. I hope you think it's cute. Do you have any other questions?
I haven't seen any.
No? Okay. So then the next thing is going to be my barn. So I need more foam again for my barn. The barn is going to sit up on the front here a little bit. You can still see the dimension here. I don't like that there. I like it here. Oh, and I have to be careful I don't get in the way of that either. Okay, so I'm going to put kind of the top half is where we need the foam. Where's my foam? Where's the beginning of it? This is my foam, by the way. It's a ridiculously large piece of foam, but it works. Okay, so let me make sure that's not going to be in the way. Okay, so that's one piece, and I'm going to double up because my foam is really thin. Put a second piece here. Let's see if that's going to work. And it is. That's going to work really well. And then the bottom half, I only need to put adhesive, my double-sided tape on the bottom half, because it's going to go on this hill, on this grass here. I got to lift this up so actually I can look at the camera and I can see. I want to make sure. There we go. Let's go like that. Making sure it's straight. There we go. So here's my little doors. How cute is that? Oh my goodness. And then I am again going to grab some foam because I think it would be really, really cute to have these clouds have a little bit of foam behind them. Maybe not that big of a piece of foam, but let's see if that'll work. Yeah, I gotta trim that. So I'll put the little one up here, and then let me get another little piece here for this one. And it's too big also. There we go. Oops. Flying foam. maybe here. There we go. And then this one, like that. Very cute. Okay. Now we need to get these little critters and stuff on here. Let's see how my hay bale is going to fit. Look how cute that is. Okay. So the bale of hay, get a little bit of adhesive on that. And I'm going to pop that up here. Tuck, oops, slipping in there a bit. So if you remember, when I adhered that black piece of paper of cardstock to the back of the barn, I only put the adhesive around the edges here because you want to make sure that you're able to slide things in here and you don't lock those doors down with, isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Okay, so next, let's see. I wonder if I could tuck a bunny down in here. I don't know if that works. What about up here? That is just cute. I'm going to have him coming out that window there. Oops. What's happening with my tape?
What are you doing?
The tape roll just kind of messes up sometimes. So here, I'm going to put him here. I'm even going to leave his door open. Look how cute he is. So he's like sticking his head out, like he's, you know, actually sticking his head out there so you can see him. It's just adorable. This guy, I'm going to put him on a little bit of foam. Here's the beginning of my foam. Here we go. So I want these guys to look like they're in action. So like they swung open the door and they're just playing their music and they're just kind of jamming and having a good old time. So here's this guy. And then I'm going to put him up on the fence. There we go. And then I'm going to have him he's going to go inside the main door. Get these doors open. And he's going to be standing in here jamming with his accordion. How cute is that? I love it. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit of foam behind the top of this. See how this is kind of moving? I don't want that to move. So I'm just going to take a piece of foam and I've got to double it up. Take the tape off of both sides. I'm going to put that up behind here, tape that down, and then I'm going to do the same thing behind the silo so that that's not loose. Next, when I put this into an envelope, I'm going to make sure that it doesn't get damaged. So I'm going to make sure we secure all of this. There we go. Look at that! Oh my gosh. I love it. Just look at how cute that is. It's actually as cute as I thought it was going to be in my head. Now if I want to put more characters back in there, I can do that. Look how cute. Oh, I love it. How's it going? Awesome. Hey. Gosh, I hope you like this card. I think it turned out really cute. You never know when you have an idea in your head. You never know if it's actually going to turn out the way that it just, looks in your head. So I am absolutely thrilled that it did. I just love it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will have fun playing with it too. So let's see. Do we have any more questions really quick?
We do, if I can get it over there.
Okay. Cindy's asking, what scissors am I using? That's a good question. I don't know. That is a very good. I think they're Fiskars. Let me see. Glasses. Yes, these are Fiskars. A lot of people love those. What are they called? They're like little. They're yellow. They're like little. I don't know, bumblebee or something like that. A lot of people love those, and for some reason, I love these. This is, for some reason, when I'm cutting with these, I can just maneuver these around so easily. I have maybe 4 pair of these in the studio all the time. I love them. Any other questions?
I can't get it to show up on the screen.
Okay, Peggy is asking, are there any little
piggies
that would work with the barn? Piggies. We don't have any piggies yet. That's another great idea. Always good to hear your suggestions. I always love to know what everybody is looking for to work with and to play with and stuff. So yeah, but we will definitely, I think pigs are a great idea, and we definitely want to add to this because this little barn, I swear, it's one of my absolute favorite stamp and die sets. Love them. So we are definitely going to add to that whole barn theme. So, well, hey, how about a giveaway? Let's do that. Let's do the 2 main things that we are crafting with today. The 2 main things are the barnyard, the stamp, and the die. Ooh, I just made a mess. What did I do?
Cutter bee.
I think, yes, cutter bee. That's the other ones, the other yellow scissors I was talking about. Okay, I just kind of wrecked my packaging, but that's okay. We're going to give these away. We're going to give away the 4x6 stamp set of the barn, as well as the coordinating dies. So my husband, Alan, is going to give me a name. Let me see. He's not putting it up there. Let's see. I guess I'm picking one. He's having trouble. Beverly Gleason? Beverly Gleason? You're the winner! Beverly Gleason! Yay! Congratulations! You have won the...
All expense.
Yes, all expenses paid on your barnyard stamps and dies. All I need you to do is send me a private message in the Facebook group. I need your full address, mailing address, shipping address, or if you're not in the Facebook group and you want to send an email, you can send it to customer service at LDRScreative.com. So it's LDRScreative.com. Customer service at LDRScreative.com. That will make its way to me, and then we can get this shipped out to you right away. So you're going to get both of these. Yay! Oh, and you will probably be getting one of these. This is we're giving these out with all of the orders that we ship right now. It's just a little thank you. I absolutely love chapsticks and lip balms and stuff. So this one is Mango Tango. We're almost out. Ooh, we're gonna have to get some more. Maybe we'll do a different flavor next time. I don't know. Well, I think it's 8 o'clock, so I think we are actually out of time. But I had so much fun. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thursday, I think I'm going to plan on working with one of our Polka Doodles holly stamps, and so we'll make a really, really cute spring card with one of those. I don't know which one yet, but I think that's what I'm planning on doing. So I hope you will join me in just a couple of days. I hope the rest of your evening is going to be fantastic. I hope that you had fun here and that maybe you learned something or worst case, just had a little bit of time to yourself and just got to get inside your own head and just kind of relax and enjoy the last hour. So thank you so much for joining me. It means the world to me that you take the time out of your day and out of your life to show up. I really, really, truly appreciate it. Until Thursday, I will see you again then. Bye. Thanks, everyone.